an independent mind. Number 2, sorry, I'm going back just to relate it to the people. Number 2 was love and pride, and that was represented by Aga, when you're in that state of the cycle where you're fully in love. Number 3, shy and closed off, was represented by Lottie. I didn't get a sense enough from Lottie, but then again, that might be specifically because she's in a shy and closed off stage of her cycle. So yeah, I was going to say I don't have much info to explain, but actually that in itself explains it. Number 4 we said was motherhood. That was Ephraim, and which is a lovely symbol because there's 2 children within the mother. That's that one there. She's at this stage of her cycle, so that could refer to her kids. It could be since she had her kids, she might have already been in several cycles, and now she's coming back to that, and this is what she's in right now, is a real motherhood feeling. Number 5 was youth, as I said. So you become young again, you relive some youth, and you find some new passions. Okay, let's carry on. Number 6 is the unknown, represented by Kirsty. And this again, I think, is very well explained by looking at Kirsty. This is when you enter the unknown. You are unsure about who you are when you enter this stage of the cycle, and people around you start to be unsure. It's not a negative thing. It's sort of it's unknown. It's when you enter maybe new, you have new beliefs, new friends, new things are sort of unknown and new in your life. That's sort of what this stage means. The next one is you, Becca. Well, it was represented by you that night, and this is loss and confusion, as I said in the messages. So this is when you lose loved ones and precious attachments. You may feel confused and lost. I don't really want to go into detail in this because you are in this stage of the cycle, which means you can feel exactly what that means, and I don't want to put thoughts into your head as to what that may be, as I'm not at that stage at the moment, and I'm not going to tell you what you're feeling, so you know very well. Then number 8 is solitary. After you come out of the confused and lost state, you enter solitary, which means you become alone again. And this is not a negative aloneness. This is you become your true self and you live by your own rules. You're coming out of your loss and confusion and realizing you need to be yourself. You need to be you in order to find yourself again, in order to get out of that loss. And so you don't push things away at this stage, by the way. This sort of naturally occurs where you retreat from life almost. And this was represented by Emmeline, by the way. It represents what came to me? Oh yeah, because number 1 was independent, remember? So number 8 is solitary, so it's sort of coming almost back to full circle to independence, but it's not the same type of independence you have as a young child or teenager. It's a sort of solitary, almost a feeling how when someone is in old age and they're alone, but they're not lonely. They're living the life the way they want to live it. And then you reach to number 9. Number 9 is when you finally gain balance. That, don't tell me why. I don't know why, but that was represented by me at that very specific moment, Friday night. Again, these stages are not constant. We're always changing to the next stage of the cycle, but on that night it happened that I was in a state of balance, and this is when you reach an enlightenment, you rise to your full potential, and it also represents death. This is the last part of the cycle before you start a new one. So yeah, lucky for me, I'm about to start a new one apparently. And yeah, so this is the first stage of the, I don't know what to call it, a revelation, a insight, a vision, I don't know. So this was the first message that I got, and I thought it was a very sort of general message explaining different cycles of life. And then I realized that it really was very specific to the group of us girls who were together, and it explains the stage of the cycle that we are all in. And because each one of us is at one specific stage of that cycle, and we were all together, and it was also a new moon, it happened to create a very powerful moment that we are very blessed to be a part of. It's not really luck, I suppose, although I don't know if it was planned that it would be like that, but it turned out to be perfect. Then, a few hours later, I received some more. So I will now go into explaining this. I'll show you so that's a brief, a very rough picture of the bigger one that I've done, just small to explain that one. And remembering that this, which is the middle sign, equals balance. Balance is the beginning, the end, and the connecting force between everything, birth, death, and life. So now we're going to observe how the 8 stages relate to each other, or how they balance each other out thanks to the balance that is in the middle. So if we look at the picture, basically we'll start. Independence is balanced, we go through the balance symbol, is balanced by youth. Bride is balanced by unknown. Shy is balanced by loss. Motherhood is balanced by solitary. Youth is balanced by independence. Unknown is balanced by bride or love. Loss and confusion is balanced by shy. And solitary is balanced by motherhood. And now we will explain why. Independence is balanced by youth. You can be independent like this because you're young. Falling in love or being the bride is balanced with the unknown. You can tend to fall in love, or that feeling of passion and love, because it's something unknown, exciting and new. Being shy is balanced by loss. You can sort of become shy and retreat because you may be feeling loss or confusion or hurt. Motherhood is balanced by solitary. Now this means that you can be loving and generous and being the mother by still keeping some shyness and being solitary in your mind in order to love and protect your children and loved ones. Youth is balanced by independence. That means you're allowed to be young again and find a new passion in life because you've reached a new independence after motherhood or after that stage of life where you're dedicated to your loved ones. The unknown is balanced by love, meaning it's okay to enter a stage of unknown. It's okay to be unknown for a while to yourself and others, because you'll always be connected to a greater and eternal love that will hold you to life and keep you connected. Loss is balanced by shy. Now this might be something you can relate to. You will feel lost and confused at that stage, but it's okay to shy away for a while and close yourself off to regain your center. But don't be too alone. Solitary, meaning you can be shy and maybe introverted on yourself for a while and retreat, but it doesn't mean being physically alone. Solitary is balanced by motherhood. That means you become, at the stage where you become solitary, you can become solitary and be your true self. It's totally cool. You feel a chosen aloneness at that stage of your life, and it's good, it's okay, because you're still connected at heart to all the people that you influence throughout your life or throughout your cycle. Okay.